Alright, here's that pole position video I promised you. So when I first got it, it wouldn't boot. It was just stuck on, had some garbage on the screen and wouldn't proceed past any of the garbage. So that's typically got something to do with that CPU in this section of the board. So the magic starts here. That prom, gal, whatever it is, I don't remember. It, in conjunction with this circuit here, starts everything going. It tells the CPU to start, and then it tells other parts up here to start other items, eventually starting, I think that's the next CPU, and then that's the last CPU to start. At any rate, what I ended up finding as to why things wouldn't get started is you've got some trace damage, and thanks to the battery that used to live here. So there's a jumper there that I added, and there's a jumper here, and another one here, and one over here, and one right there. So I've painted over them with green nail polish just to keep them protected and hold them down to the board. Anyway, that got things started, but still wasn't advancing very far. And that's when I flipped everything over and noticed that these 4 RAM were missing. Not only were they missing, but the sockets were also missing, and there was trace damage, as you can see by that piece of Kynar wire right there. So pole position boards, like many other boards of this age, have had multiple repairs done to them over the years. And you know, this was a previous repair job that maybe sockets were getting replaced and somebody stopped at that point. Not sure. At any rate, getting those 4 sockets installed, fixing the trace damage that was there, and replacing those 4 RAM ended up making the game boot, but it was giving me a RAM error. That RAM error was this RAM here. Replacing that RAM got me to RAM 8 error. Now that is sometimes, like RAM 6, is a false RAM error. So RAM 8, RAM 6 can happen when there's things not going on right in this section here. So again, I started going through, excuse me, I started going through things, and that's when I found things like this trace here open, and this trace here open, I believe. And then there were a few other things too. You notice these 2 blue resistors here. So this section had been rebuilt at some point in the past, and the rebuild kit comes with these resistors, diodes, transistors, and a few other parts. I think this IC and maybe that one or that one. I think it's these 2. Because these 2, you know, these ICs here, being so close to this battery, they end up getting pretty chewed up. And that kit replaces all this stuff. The thing that I found wrong though is these 2 diodes were swapped. So that diode's a Zener diode, and that diode's the normal diode. With the diodes swapped, I was getting that RAM 8 error, and it honestly, it took me a good part of a day to realize that that's what had happened. You know, I tell myself over and over and over again, always look over other people's repairs. So I did lift this socket, and this socket. Found nothing wrong. That socket, I did find a broken trace there. I want to say on pin 15, the output from this IC, the trace was broken. That I fixed that, still didn't help. I replaced that socket for good measure because it was kind of bad looking. Still nothing. And then I just decided, you know what, I need to take a look at this circuit versus one of my other mini boards. And that's when I discovered the 2 diodes were swapped. And then after I swapped those diodes, it came up and it was working. So now we're going to go into test mode real quick, just demonstrate that all the audio works.
qualified. Safe driving is qualified to vote.
Okay, so all the audio's good. The explosion's good. Let's see if I can plug in my trackball / steering wheel one-handed, and we will start a game. So as you can see, the steering input's good both directions. Gas pedal input is good.
Prepare to qualify.
Engine idle works. Shifter works. And I just crashed. So you can see again, steering is good. Okay. It did burn in for a couple hours yesterday, so I don't think it needs to burn in anymore today. I'm going to take it off the bench and get to your other board.